Nick Foles will always be welcome in Philadelphia. But in a few weeks, the Super Bowl winning quarterback will be leaving the city in search of a new home. On Wednesday at the NFL Combine, Howie Roseman, the Eagles' executive VP of football operations, told the media that his organization won't put the franchise tag on Foles. That means he'll be a free agent when the new league year begins on March 13th. Before you even get started, though, stop. In fact, put it in park, then put the parking brake on. There's a very, very small chance Foles' next stop is with the Redskins. And even that might be too generous. Foles was slated to make $20 million with the Eagles next year. Washington can't afford to spend that much to sign him, considering they're already spending so much on Alex Smith and also have money committed to Colt McCoy. Plus, as J.P. Finley pointed out a few weeks earlier, if Smith ever does return, there's no way both he and Foles could cohabit on the roster in, say, 2020. The 30-year-old will get a chance to be the unquestioned starter somewhere. But that somewhere, in all likelihood and then some, won't be in the nation's capital. More Redskins news. Indianapolis, NFL draft coverage consists of many elements including mocks and big board rankings. Like the Washington Redskins at left guard, NBC Sports Washington had a hole in one of those areas, until now. Here is our first crack at assessing the 2019 pool regardless of draft order or team needs. Perhaps most notably, these evaluations come just as the annual NFL Combine kicks off. Expect a new round of assessments after all the drills, measurements and interviews change projections or reinforce beliefs. Before diving in, some quick notes. Even if the next mock draft from NBC Sports Washington's Ben Standig includes 3 to 4 quarterbacks in the first round, consider that a factor of need and positional importance. Initial conversations and public comments from head coaches and general managers at the Combine paint a picture of uncertainty with the passing prospects. The top 4, Dwayne Haskins, Kyler Murray, Drew Lock, Daniel Jones, have their backers, but the passion pre-combine lacks in comparison to 2018's group. Defenders dominate this year, particularly on the line and with the edge pass rushers. One former front executive told NBC Sports Washington he would have 26 to 28 defenders among the top 32 players on his big board. The receiver class lacks high-end talent yet offers a deep crop of candidates from the second to the later rounds. Rankings for 2 players we see moving up during the evaluation process, DK Metcalf and Preston Williams, reflect such anticipation. Murray isn't the only player teams are anxiously awaiting to hear about measurables. Houston defensive tackle Ed Oliver, the 2017 Outland Trophy winner, receives comparisons to All-Pro Aaron Donald. That's a combination of production, but also initial fears of size limitations on the pro level. Donald, of course, turned into one of the league's most dominant defenders. Oliver's draft projection may rise or fall depending on his official height and weight. His official college bio lists him at 6'2", 293 pounds. Oliver is a tough conversation because most of us can't wait to see what his height and weight is this week because we don't even know, Raiders general manager and former draft analyst Mike Mayock said Wednesday during his official podium session. If you look at historic data, at analytics, it tells you that his height and weight probably shouldn't work in the NFL, but when a guy like that runs 4.5 something at the combine that changes the analytics a little bit. I think he's one of the guys this week that most the teams are really intrigued, not just with his height and weight, but how the kid works out and how he handles himself. He is really an interesting case because he's a little different than the other potential first-round linemen out there. 1 Nick Bosa, Ohio State. 2 Quinnen Williams, DT, Alabama. 3 Josh Allen, OLB, Kentucky. 4 Devin White, LB, LSU. 5 Montez Sweat, Mississippi State. 6 Greedy Williams, CB, LSU. 7 Ed Oliver, DT, Houston. 8 Dexter Lawrence, DT, Clemson. 9 Rashawn Gary, DL, Michigan. 10 DK. Metcalf, WR, Mississippi 11 Dwayne Haskins, QB, Ohio State 12 Kyler Murray, QB, Oklahoma 13 Clelin Ferrell, Clemson 14 Christian Wilkins, DL, Clemson 15 Jachai Polite, OLB, Florida 16 DeAndre Baker. CB, Georgia 17 Byron Murphy, CB, Washington 18 Brian Burns, Florida State 19 Devin Bush, ILB, Michigan 20 Jonah Williams, OT, Alabama 21 Jawan Taylor, OT, Florida 22 TJ Hawkinson, Tay, Iowa 23 Jerry Tillery, DT, Notre Dame 24 Cody Ford, ET, Oklahoma 25 Marquise Brown, WR, Oklahoma 26 Josh Jacobs, RB, Alabama 27 Noah Fant, Tay, Iowa 28 Taylor Rep, S, Washington 29 Jonathan Abram. S, Mississippi State 30 Preston Williams, WR, Colorado State 31 Draymond Jones, DT, Ohio State 32 Dalton Risner, OL, Kansas State 33 Andre Dillard, OT, Washington State 34 N'Keal Harry, WR, Arizona State 35 AJ Brown, WR, Mississippi 36 Irv Smith, Tay, Alabama 37 Jalen Ferguson, La Tech 38 Zach Allen, Boston College 39 Deontay Thompson, S, Alabama 40 Nasser Adderley, FS, Delaware 41 Greg Little, OT, Mississippi 42 Jeffrey Simmons, DT, Mississippi State 43 Mac Wilson, LB, Alabama 44 Drew Lock, QB, Missouri 45 Daniel Jones, QB, Duke 46 O'Shea Nexamines, Old Dominion 47 Paris Campbell, WR, Ohio State 48 Kelvin Harmon, WR, NC State 49 Chase Winovich, LB, Michigan 50 Damian Harris, RB, Alabama. More Redskins news. The Eagles intend to let Nick Foles leave via free agency this offseason, and his availability will help the Redskins in a big way. Just not that way. The Redskins don't have the money to sign Foles. They don't have the cap room. With just $17 million in salary cap space and having to pay Alex Smith $20 million this season even though he's unlikely to play, adding another high-priced quarterback would be bad team building. That doesn't mean Foles' free agency can't help Washington, though. The Jaguars should be aggressive in their pursuit of Foles. Jacksonville has a team built to win, now, as illustrated by a 2017 appearance in the AFC title game. And there is plenty of speculation that Foles lands with the Jags, too. A lot can change once free agency opens March 13th, but for now, the Jacksonville Jaguars will head into free agency as the favorite to land Nick Foles. Adam Schefter, @AdamSchefter, February 27, 2019. So how does Foles going to Jacksonville help the Redskins? It's simple. If the Jaguars spend big money to bring Foles in, and it will require big money to land the former Super Bowl MVP, then the team won't be looking at quarterbacks in the NFL draft. That would mean one of the draft's best passers has one less team in the market, and in turn, could push a quarterback like Dwayne Haskins, Kyler Murray, Drew Lock or Daniel Jones closer to the Redskins when they pick at no. 15. NBC Sports' Chris Sims suggested that Washington will have to move up in the draft to get one of the best QB prospects. If Jacksonville isn't looking for a quarterback with a no. 7 pick, maybe that pressure to move up diminishes. Of the teams in the top 10 selections of the NFL draft, there aren't many with obvious needs at quarterback. The New York Giants and the Jaguars were the two most obvious, and if the Jags sign Foles, they're off that list. There are other teams ahead of the Skins that could take a QB, like Denver, Miami or even the Cardinals at no. 1 overall, but none of those teams have to take a QB. If the Redskins want Haskins, Murray, Lock or Jones, they'd be well served to see Foles sign in Jacksonville. Less competition for quarterbacks means less need to trade up and higher chances of landing a new face of the franchise. More Redskins news.